The truth of the matter is that there are two Detroits. There's this Detroit, and then there's this Detroit. What about our neighborhoods? What about our schools? Have we been forgotten?
The Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, my father, said there's no problem in this city that a good paying job can't fix. I want people working and I want investment right here in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to start with a quote. The ears of the leader must ring with the voices of the people. Great president once said that. Mr. President, I rise today to make it clear to everyone in this chamber exactly why I cannot support this legislation. You've heard the chants outside this chamber, not just today and last night, but many times over the past 2 years. Thousands of people have shown up, union and non-union, men and women, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, even their children. These are the working families of Michigan. These are the thousands of people that I was sent here to represent. When I vote no, I'm voting no on behalf of the thousands of families. Who are you voting yes for? Grover Norquist? I know he sent you all a letter asking you to support this anti-worker legislation. You are voting yes because a handful of corporate lobbyists, a handful of fat cats in the back are telling you to. That's who you work for, the powerful few, the guys with top hats and monocles. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I work for the people, for the many. I proudly represent them in casting this no vote. I'm doing what's right, what's good for the people. And I tell you this, Mr. President, we will fight you. We will not let this stand. We'll fight you from Kalamazoo to Timbuktu. We'll fight you from the streets and in the suites. We'll fight you in the penthouse and we'll fight you in the outhouse. And Mr. President, I'll tell you this right now. When it's all said and done, when it's all over, we will grab the thunderbolt of truth. We will grab the rod of revolution, and we will have our victory. And the spoils will go to the working people of Michigan. And you will forever remember the day when you thought you could conquer labor. You were sorely mistaken. Be prepared to engage in the fight of your life. You might win this battle, but the wars are brewing, sir. The wars are brewing, sir. And we're coming, and we're taking no prisoners, and we're taking no quarter. And Mr. President, when all said is done, working men and women of this state will reign supreme. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to The Young Effect. I am your state senator, Coleman Alexander Young II. Always an honor and privilege to be here with you, broadcasting live from TV 33 WHPR. Always a pleasure. Again, the website is www.tv33whpr.com. Always good to be here with you. You could be outside. It's a beautiful day. You could be queuing it up. You could be doing whatever you're doing. You could be listening in your car. You could be listening on lockdown. Wherever you at, we just want to say we love you. We appreciate you. We consider you to be family right here on The Young Effect. With that being said, as usual, I want to thank all of our military servicemen and women for the wonderful sacrifice they make for our freedom and our liberties that we enjoy right here in the good old US of A. So we just want to honor them, as well as honoring our police officers, our firefighters. They're overworked and underpaid, overwhelmed and underpaid. We love them and we appreciate them, undermanned and underpaid. And so we just want to say we love them and we appreciate them. We thank God for them, as well as our firefighters, our emergency services personnel, our police officers. So please join me for a moment of silence for the fallen in Iraq, in Afghanistan. Also, locally, our police officers, our firefighters, everyone who works to make the lives here a better place. We thank you and we honor you. Please join me in a moment of silence. All right, thank you for that. And with that being said, we going to get right into it. It's open mic as always. You want to call in, you got something bubbling on the dome, please let me know what's happening. We've had another really intense week this week. We have knocked doors. We just finished knocking doors over there on the west side. That was really good over there off of Outer Drive, West Outer Drive. Just finished knocking doors along that way. Also went up there in the final cut over there. They got little final cuts over there. That barbershop, went in there and talked to them. That was real good. Told them what my plan is and what's going on and what's happening. So also this is the week where we put out our plan. We thought it's time everybody talking about what's his plan, what's his plan, what's his plan, what's his plan, what's his plan. We put the plan out. Now everybody quiet. Don't nobody got nothing to say. I mean, you got some knuckleheads out there who can't read, you know what I mean? Want to talk about what my plan doesn't do because they ain't actually researched what it is. You know what I mean? But for the most part, we think it's well planned out, well fleshed out. And I put that up against anybody. So I think it's a phenomenal thing. Did an interview with the Washington Post, getting ready to have the New York Times shadow me tomorrow. Already had the Hour Detroit shadow me, so we're going to have them see, keep up with them, see what's going on and see how that's doing. So I'm going to be in front of the Detroit Free Press editorial board tomorrow and a lot of other things. So we're moving. Things is going well. We're flowing. We run out of signs, we run out of lit. So things is going great right now. We put out over 1,000 signs already. So we're really excited about what's happening, man. Our ground game is going good. We probably should be over on the east side next week. Go over there to North End. Shout out to all my North End people out there. Salt of the earth people in the North End love you. Gonna go out there, probably go to Boston, Essex, probably go to a couple other places on the west side too. So we're really excited about that, what's happening. So we'll be over there. We 25,000 pieces of lit we done put out already. So we got a lot of really good things that we doing right now. A lot of really good things that we doing. A lot of good reforms that we're trying to do in terms of our plan. What we want to do from insurance, to environment, to everything else in between, to green, to climate, combating climate change, to zoning, to stormwater management. So we got a lot of good things that we're doing right now. In our plan, a lot of things we're doing to make the city a better place. And I think it's a comprehensive, well thought out plan. And so I think we're doing real well. It's just been a whirlwind of a week this week. You know what I mean? We've been everywhere. Spoke at East Eagles Village. That was fun. Hey, hello to all you guys out there. Love you, appreciate you. Spoke at East Eagles Village. Also, we spoke today at a couple churches. Spoke at Holy Cross. St. Matthew's and St. Joseph's. Also spoke at Carter Metropolitan, so that was really good. So we done a lot of really good things, and no, that was last week. So yeah, I forgot to tell you, 'cause that's right, I didn't come last week. So last week we also spoke at historic Little Rock Church over there, Reverend Holly. So that was real good how we did that and how that went down. So we're gaining momentum. We're building momentum. Little by little, inch by inch, day by day, putting work in. We was over there also on Autobahn, put a lot of signs out there over there on Autobahn and East Outer Drive. So we were doing that. Probably go down Van Dyke too a little bit over there on the east side, and then we're probably gonna go over there a little bit on the west side. Probably hit 8 Mile over there on the west side. Start handing out literature and things of that nature over there. So, yeah, things are going real good, man. Things are going real good. We already hit Sherwood Forest. You know what I'm saying? We hit Rosedale Park, so Palmer Woods. So we hit a lot of good places, man. University District over there. So, Indian Village. So we're doing good. We doing good. We doing good. We doing real good. So, yeah, we got any calls? Call you on the air. Welcome to Young Effect. Hello? Got the caller. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Young.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Good.
I heard you're doing better than they thought you would be doing. I heard that on television yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And I'm so proud of you, and I hope you keep up the good work. And I need some signs for my yard.
Everybody
my
needs
yard
some
next door
signs.
to me. Huh?
We gonna get you some signs.
Yeah, I need some signs. I'm feeling better, so I can go up and down the street now. And I need some of them other things that you pass out so they can vote for you. I just haven't been out of this house. So I want to do something now. So anytime you can bring them over here, just bring them over. Did Dee Dee give y'all a piece of paper I gave her to give you?
I don't think we got to her yet. We probably, we've really been moving a lot, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
be
I want
surprised
you
if
to
we even
read
got her
that
yet.
and see what it's about.
Yeah, well, I'll
And
probably
I
see her
gave it
on
to
Monday.
Dee Dee. Huh?
I'll see her on Monday. We are Monday, 6 o'clock, 18963 Livernois. We'll be
Okay.
over there on Monday. We'll have all that together on Monday. We'll have more
And when are
lit
you
on
coming
Monday,
on the
too.
east side?
Huh?
When are you coming over here on the east side?
Oh, we going over there on Mac and Bewick real soon. Now, we've been over there a couple times
What is
already,
on Mac and Bewick?
but we're going to go over there real soon.
But what is on Mac and Bewick?
Huh?
What is on Mac and Bewick?
Well, aren't you over there on Mac and Bewick?
No, I'm not.
Thought you was over there on Mac and Bewick.
I'm on Mac and Canfield.
Well, you on Mac and Canfield. Well, then we going over there, too.
Yeah, well, see, Mac and Bewick is up there. You be careful when you go up there. Because I
Yeah.
hear a lot of people go up there, but nobody be seeing to do anything about Mac and Bewick.
Look, we was
Be
on
careful when
Jefferson.
you go up there.
Look, we was on Jefferson and Chalmers last week,
Uh-huh.
and one of my volunteers witnessed a crime in progress where a lady shot and killed a guy who was trying to break into her house. And then the week before, we were knocking on the door in Berry Subdivision, and the guy got bit.
Oh, my God. Well, you see, the
And this is
east side,
two. And
though,
this is 2 weeks back to back, and this is the same guy.
and they haven't caught him yet?
Man,
Oh, my
so I mean,
goodness.
it's crazy. It's
Y'all
crazy.
be careful, but I'm glad you're doing an excellent job. Everybody I talk to said they're going to vote for you, so
Hey.
I'm glad of that. And just get me some signs so I can start putting up and down this street.
We gonna get you
do
some
whatever
signs.
y'all want me to do because I just been sick, but I lost 21 pounds, so I can't afford to be losing no weight. So I'm
Wow,
gonna
21
sit down
pounds. Wow.
2 more days, and then I'm getting out of here.
Okay,
Okay, but I'm glad y'all are doing a good job, and you keep up the good work.
I will love you.
And tell Dee to give you that paper because it's really important. I think it is.
It is.
So I want you to tell me if it's any good or not because somebody stuck it in my coat pocket, and I don't remember who did it. So I want you to read it and see what you think of it.
I will.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Love you now. We got another caller. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Good afternoon. Good
Hey,
afternoon.
how you doing?
Coleman Young II, a movement for real improvement. We love you, baby.
That's right.
Just in case you don't know, that the Senior Friendship Day is Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Shane Park. That's Senior Friendship Day. They'll be at the park from 10 to 2 a.m. and then Brenda Jones is having the seniors out.
Where's that at?
Henderson on the 20th. At the Armin Henderson Park, Thursday the 20th.
Okay, that's a senior park.
And then Shane Park is Tuesday the 18th.
Okay, Tuesday the 18th. All right.
10 to 2. And
All right.
I'm hearing that they're getting ready to throw some more seniors out right there on Woodward near Mac over there by the orchestra place. So I got to find out if that's true, too. We need these community benefits to help our seniors and our youth with recreation and educational benefits as well. And affordable housing. They said Bedrock finna give 700 and affordable housing, but we don't know what affordable housing means to them. They still might want $1,000 rent. So we need to check all that out. But keep up the good work, and I just want to throw some activities and events out there that you might want to send us through. Okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too. Thank you for the call.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now. You got a caller? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. We can say welcome to Young Effect. But
Excellent.
I want to say this to your mother: the check's in the mail. Go and cash it. And that I have to just say I live on the northwest side, Outer Drive in Greenfield, and it's funny to me. I look at these the people that put these Duggan signs up, but they're in houses that people don't live in. But I don't have anything to add to you. You're doing a fine job. Keep moving. It's going to take a long time to turn this thing around, but stay right in the game. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You got the best hand, and you got the best hand for all of us, not just for some of us.
That's right.
All right. Take it slow and keep going.
I will. Appreciate you.
All right.
Love you, brother. We got another caller?
State Senator Coleman Young Jr., how you doing today?
I'm winning. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was the first caller. You said hello, then it hung up. The East Side came on. Was that planned or what?
No,
And
we
I
just
wanna
lost
talk
you,
about
man.
leaving. You know,
We just lost you,
wonder
man. It
about
happens.
sometimes.
What's
Hey,
your
Cole, What you
question?
say about leaving and doing those contracts for his girlfriend?
Go ahead.
On Fox 2 this morning.
Go ahead.
Well, they showed it where Leland was doing some illegal contracts. He was sending contracts to his girlfriend, people to stay out there in Grosse Pointe.
From my understanding, the story was that he was approving, so he was voting on
Yeah,
something.
he was approving some, but he didn't want to talk about it. That seemed kind of shady right there. And what about white boy Rick with him getting released?
They
Then
say,
he wanted to do some time down there in Florida.
hey, the parole
Remain in
board
time.
rule, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What I think we should be doing is I think we should be working with the Innocence Project to make sure we get more of these brothers that's in prison up there that ain't got no business being in there, who ain't convicted any crime or committed any crime except being breathing while black, who are in these prisons now who need to get up out of there. That's what I think.
Yeah, true.
And you know, I mean, it is what it is with with Rick. I mean, but I tell you like this, I think that the war on drugs, I think that this has spiraled out of control, and it has really become more of an assault on black and brown people. And you talking about locking up lots of people for low-level drug offenses that has filled up our jails and filled up our prisons and wasted tens of millions, not hundreds of millions, and actually billions of tax dollars on something that, quite frankly, has decimated the black community and has been used to strip out generations of black folks. And has all it really has done has built and has increased and enhanced the prisoner industrial complex that we have now, and added to the school to prison pipeline that currently exists, not just in Detroit, but all across America. And I for one, think that we should be focusing more on that and use the conversation about Mr. Wersch, excuse me, in that regard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
What we gonna do about getting more? The time is now. No more talk.
Yeah.
When are we gonna get newer grocery stores here on the east side?
Get
You could
what?
build at least 4 of them on the east side. Get somebody to come in and
That's-
build up since they have the green light program.
That's why we need more community development corporations, man. That's why we need more
like,
community
for instance,
development
it's a
financial
property
institutions.
Right there on, I'll tell you what it's at. Kirchford in Pennsylvania and McClellan area.
Mhm.
They could build a grocery store over there and a little small strip. Don't build it too big. When you build it too big, that's running people away. And they should be able to tell about how much traffic they should have.
Yeah.
You have a lot of foot traffic. Then you have a lot of Detroiters that's on bridge cards and everything. Maybe we can get some of the prices lowered on the food and stuff. And that way you'd be able to compete with the Chaldeans and these other stores around here. They have like sales on, like how Myers and like
Yeah.
like Myers
Look,
have and Kroger.
yeah.
You can have another
I agree.
small chain come in here.
I agree.
And do something. 'Cause
But
this time is now. No
I
more
agree
talk.
with
I'm
the times
tired of all
now,
this talking.
but let
You
me
got a
say
lot-
this too though. Let me say this to you too though, brother. Let me say this real quick. Let me jump in. I'll let you finish. But let me jump in. I think that we need to have African Town. I think we need to bring that back. I don't think there's any reason why all that black folks have done and the rich history that we have in the city of Detroit that we cannot monetize our culture. You got Mexican Town, you got Greek Town, you got Cork Town, you had Chaldean Town, you know what I'm saying? And you also had Asian Town for that went belly up. But you know what I mean? I don't know why we can't have African Town. And where we can have black folks coming together and pooling their resources together for the greater good. I don't understand why we can't do that. And don't tell me about using public funds in order to put that together, because Corktown took Empowerment's own money. I mean, Mexican Town took Empowerment's own money. Corktown took Community Development Block Grant money. And Greektown took pension fund money. And if we could do that for them, I don't know why we can't do it for our own people. And we 83% black. And you got towns like that all across the country buying from each other. But we got to start supporting one another. We got to pool our resources together and start supporting one another. Start buying from one another. And have a financial institution set up, a structure set up, whether it be working with the Small Business Administration, whether it be community development financial institutions and community development credit unions and more community banks in the area lending to black folks. And working with other, more mainstream financial institutions as well. But we got to have access to capital, even if it's a micro loan to start small businesses. We got to have access to capital. And we don't right now. And it's shameful.
We can get it if people stop hating on each other and come together as
That's
one.
right. That's right.
That's the only way that we will survive in the United States of America.
That's right.
And here in Detroit. Stop all the hating, talking about certain section of the East Side. You don't know too much about it. Coleman, you're not afraid to go anywhere because God follow you.
That's right.
People that's afraid to go anywhere, God follow them, but they don't have that faith. So that's why they always talking evil about Mac and Beawood. What's so bad about Mac and Beawood? It ain't no different than any other part of the West Side or any part of Detroit.
Well, listen. Let me say this.
Hatred.
Let me say this, man. It's hard for you to start saying let's come together, and then you start ragging on the East Side lady. So look, we got to be united.
She's a big bigot. And I'm come straight, Coleman. I know you love her.
I do.
I know.
I love you too.
Strong connection.
But we can't use this show to be, airing out hate and disrespect from one another. We gotta start loving each other, like you said, and coming together. We got more things in common with each other than we do that's different from each other, and we gotta start finding what we can do to work together. Cause you got people who trying to get us up out of here right now. We got another caller. Hello.
Hey, good evening, Senator. It's Deputy Chief. How you doing?
What's going on, Deputy Chief? Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. For the last caller, you can't put the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So what the answer to his question is, for him to get out there and drum up support to get you in as mayor first.
That's
then
right.
You can operate on attracting supermarkets to come into our city. That's the way it works. It's clear that we need radical change. We need you as the mayor. We need 6 new council members, okay? We can leave Lopez where she's at because I've never seen her disrespect her people, okay? So we do need radical change. I had the opportunity to read your plan. Your plan is solid. Stick to it. A lot of people don't understand when you say a national security issue about the river and the border.
Yeah.
That is true.
Man.
Because Detroit sits on 26 to 28 miles of unprotected international waterway. Okay, so it is a security risk. In the late 70s, the fire department and police department had an exercise, a terrorist exercise. We wiped out Detroit, half of Grosse Pointe, Ferndale, Royal Oak Township, Hamtramck. And the way we did it, we came right up the river and poisoned the water system, the water intake over there by the Rooster Tail. So you're right on point. It is a national security issue. Then, too, people, when you talk about impact fees, that's very important. A lot of people don't understand what an impact fee is. That's a fee that the city of Detroit would charge the developer for protection and other city services. And it's amazing how nobody has brought that up, but they're bringing in all these developers, and they're taking our money, and they're building and building, but nobody in the Duggan administration got sense enough to charge an impact fee. So your plan is solid. Keep up the good work. I don't understand how anyone can even think about voting for Mike Duggan the second term when he's the one that's shutting your water off. He's the one that brokered the Pistons deal, which the end result will put our children and grandchildren in debt for the next 30 years. Okay, this is crazy, all right? And so it's things like that why we have to get rid of Mike Duggan and, like I said, 8 of the council members. So keep up the good work. And, hey, man, I understand you aggravating that concrete, shaking hands and getting out and knocking on doors, and that's a good thing. So keep up the good work.
I will, certainly will. I thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yep.
Another caller? Call you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Hey.
Look here, first of all, like the gentleman called a little while ago about getting grocery stores in the area. I live in the Wayne State area, so I'm around grocery stores and all. But anyway, over on the east side area, whatever Miss East Side said, I agree with 99.5%. They need stores over there in that area. You know, and we can't always talk about depending on the Chaldeans or anybody else. Pastor Holly tries to get people to get stuff together. You had a group of pastors around the parish get together and get a building. They argue over nonsense stuff, and that didn't work. Now he's trying to get something else going to get people to support and get together. We don't want to help out and do nothing, but we want to sit back and holler. And I know it's hurting when I say that. I don't care if it hurts somebody's feelings. Of course, I'm supporting you 100%. You're going to be the next mayor. But we need to stop all this rehashing stuff and get together and do something. All this property along Linwood, we talk about, it's called the black community, like they have Chinaland and Greektown, all that. We can do that too. Just build up some places there and put our money together and stop arguing among each other and all this. We got plenty of places to build stuff. And then we must support them. It does no good for them to build nothing, and we don't support them still go across the 8 Mile Road. So we got to get people together with that mentality. And we got to get these people out here to vote. We have to pick them up to get who we want in office. Get rid of some of them. I like my council rep here, Lopez. She's doing good. I'm voting for all these other people, and Brenda Jones is good. But get rid of Gary Brown. People forgetting the ones they need to get rid of. Okay, I'm going to hang up and listen. Maybe somebody will call in behind me. Okay, have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you for that call. Appreciate you. Got another caller? Hello?
Hi, Coleman. It's Brenda.
Hey, Brenda, how you doing?
I'm so excited to get in. I've been trying. The phones have been locked down. I want to ask about 2 things.
Speak up a little bit, Brenda. I can't hear you.
I want to ask about the insurance bills, the 2 that you have put forth. And I would like to ask about the crime part of your plan. crime is a virus.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. First of all, let me talk about insurance. You're talking about in terms of auto insurance. What we want to do is one, I want to basically stop using credit to determine your auto insurance rate. I want to stop basing your rate based on credit. Stop basing your rate based on where you live or your territory, and or your zip code. And I also want to change the definition of excessive rates because right now only one of the criteria for a rate being excessive is if competition exists, and I want to change that to a rate is excessive if it is over 2% of your income. As the United States Treasury Department said, that should be the definition. So I want to change it to that. I also wanted to open up the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. That's the claims association that pays out money if you get into a catastrophic accident. That fund, they run that fund, which is all controlled by people who write policies for the insurance companies. It's all controlled by people who it's all controlled by people who work for the insurance company, basically. So the insurance companies control the fund, basically. And what I want to do is I wanted to open that up to the Open Meetings Act so people can see how those rates are determined, how those payouts are determined, how much money they got in that fund, because they got about $20-something billion in that fund. One, I also want to make sure that the insurance commissioner not only is elected, but I also want to make sure the insurance commissioner has the ability to be able to roll back rates if they are excessive. It also order refunds as well to people who've been overcharged. I think that's something that's very important. I think that'd be vital in terms of change. So that's what I want to do primarily in terms of auto insurance. And I want to make sure that if the auto insurance companies do raise your rates, since you are mandated to buy auto insurance, that they have to hold a public meeting and tell you why they are raising your rates. I think that's something that's very important, the things that we need to do in order to regulate it. And I also want to mandate that we have a 65% rollback in terms of auto insurance rates right now, because they're over $5,000 on average in the city of Detroit. That's what I want to say, one, in terms of auto insurance. Secondly, in terms of crime, when you're talking about treating violence like a virus, basically what they did in Wilmington, Delaware, is they went to the Center of Disease Control, and they issued they've had an epidemiology office in the Center of Disease Control since 1983. And so basically what they wanted to do is they wanted to go on there, take data from them, and using that data, I believe that we could be proactive against crime and find out what the root causes of crime is, where they are at, where they are most likely to be located at, and I want to use that information to be able to fight crime. I also want to use a shot spotter technology. That's basically where you use acoustic technology, because gun sounds have a certain sonic sound to that. We can pick up where those sounds are from sensors that are placed in key areas of the city of Detroit, and from that sound signature, a certain sonic sound signature, we can be able to find where people are shooting those guns, and we can bring them to justice. And I think we can respond quicker to when crime events like that happened. I also wanted to use trace data better by going to the National Integration Ballistics Information Network to be able to use shell cases, be able to trace trace that back to these guns, so we can locate these guns, and we can put perpetrators who are out there committing crimes with guns away. What I also wanted to do as well is I wanted to make sure that we partner up with our hospitals, because gunshot victims are more likely to become gunshot perpetrators once they are released from the hospital. And I want to provide wraparound services such as job training and the like to people like that, as well as I wanted to provide mental health services and PTSD services to not only victims of gun violence, but also children as well, because it can be tragic if you see someone get shot right in front of you. And as I'm sure you remember, we already had the incident where you've had a woman who was killed in front of their kids, and they were found with their mother's dead body. So I think that's a real tragic thing, and I think we need to partner up with the health community in order to do that. And we're probably going to have some health impact statements as well in some of these areas involving crime, and partner up with them and make sure we can do things and make sure we have a better understanding of how violence really impacts people from a health perspective as well. And so I think if we start treating it in that way, as well as using trace data in a much more better fashion, as well as probably see if we can get some burn justice grant funds in order to make sure that we can see if we can pilot just some programs, we can have some officers just walking the beat again. You know, I think that's something that we really should be doing in some of these areas, particularly involving crime, as well as expanding the use of police mini stations. I think that's something that's very critical if we're going to make sure that we have better police presence that are out there and that are more focused on what's going on and how this is working. So that's really what I want to do right now at this time in order to prevent crime.
Well, I thank you for clarifying that for everybody. I especially believe that the crime piece, treating crime as a virus, will help us overall, because we will also have information going out to people at the youngest levels, right?
Right. And I also think that we should do a better job of using our VOCA grants as well, victims of crime grants. I think that's something that we should really be doing as well in order to make sure that we can do that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coleman.
Thank you for your call, Brenda. Appreciate you. Always good to hear from you.
Bye-bye.
Take care now. You're the caller. Go ahead,
Hello,
caller.
Mayor Young.
Hey,
how are you?
Pat. How you doing, Pat?
Oh, I'm doing great. And you're looking great and sounding great.
Thank you.
But you know, our mantra should be, if we can't get in, then we won't spend. If you won't lend, then we won't spend. Because this is the only language the system, status quo, understands. They understand economics. So once we learn economics and how we can use our economics, it's all over. That the game is over. We keep contributing and participating in a system that's not devised for us. As soon as we realize that and act accordingly, we'll get over. But as long as we keep participating, spending our money with them, I've said this a long time ago. If we could get something going to say just buy gas and food for 6 months, I mean, everybody can just do that. Most of us have everything we need. We got clothes galore, shoes, this, that, and the third. If we just survive off fuel and food and stop the money, we have their attention. You know, we did it with the Montgomery boycott. They stopped riding the bus. They stopped giving their money to that system. And then they said, well, not only can you ride on the bus, you can drive the bus. But see, we keep getting caught up. We want to spend our money. We don't want to sacrifice. We're going to have to sacrifice. And right now, the sacrifices that we do today are nowhere in comparison to the sacrifices that our forefathers did when they got hosed, hung, etc. All we have to do is keep our money in our doggone pocket. But we've gotten spoiled, and we want to keep up with the Joneses and all this stuff, and that's why we keep going through this vicious cycle over and over again. They understand money, and they understand violence. I'm not an advocate of violence, but I am an advocate of holding up the loot. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Appreciate you. Thank you for your call. I agree. Listen, I personally think that we should just start looking to promote and encourage more black banks and start doing business with them and start doing business with their own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I think I'm gonna have to look elsewhere too. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you who I bank with, but I ain't gonna give the information. But I think people that need to start looking elsewhere, man. We just got to. If they're not gonna support us, we can't support them. We just can't. Get on the caller.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm great. Hey,
Didi.
Great. It's good hearing your plan. I mean, it is so refreshing to hear your plan. And thank you, Brenda, for bringing out all those things so that you can clarify those things for us, especially with this insurance, because we need to know what you have on the table so that we can spread it around, which is what everybody's doing.
Yes.
And one other question. You said you're going to be suing for things that, like for the revenue sharing, if the governor will not work with us.
Well, there's
a city.
There's a suit that's already happening right now in terms of revenue sharing. I plan on joining it. So
Okay.
when I become mayor, I don't know if I can or if it's too late. But you know, I definitely want to be able to plan. I definitely want to be able to assist the best way I can possible. Because there's a suit going on right now that cities across the state are suing for revenue sharing. I definitely think that Detroit should join, and when I'm mayor, they will.
But Detroit is not part of that right
No.
now.
No,
The mayor that we have right now does not feel that
No.
we need this money.
no. He don't want to participate against suing the state because he don't want to go against Governor Snyder apparently.
His best friend.
Mm.
Okay. Because I mean, if we got that money back, it seems like that would alleviate some of the clawback and other things that they're doing with the seniors.
Ain't no
and the
saying it
retirees.
would. It
I mean,
would
if
if
we
you
got that
if you
money
got
back.
the money back. If you got the money back from the revenue sharing and you got the money back from Wall Street, I'm not saying it would alleviate all of it, but it definitely would make a difference. And it would just be the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do. That's really what it is. I mean, you got more revenue sharing. There's more police on the street. There's more firefighters on the street. There's more firefighter rigs. That's more more. Well, no, we privatize that out. Never mind. But there's more police. I'm gonna say garbage. We privatize that out. There's more police. There's more firefighters. There's more emergency services personnel. More EMTs. Hell, we might be able to get some more trucks. Because the way in which they saying that they getting response time down is they got firefighters. They putting EMTs on the firefighter rigs. They having the firefighter rigs go out there, drive them over there, and and they're doing they're doing CPR and whatever else, but they can't put them on the rig.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's
and you
crazy.
got rigs that be pulled away from fires.
Mm.
And because this mutual aid agreement you got Detroiters that are fighting fires in other cities. They driving 2, 3, 4 trucks to other cities to fight fires. What happens in the city?
Thank you.
We can't be doing that. So
We need
that mutual
somebody
aid
that's
agreement
gonna
needs to go.
look out for the citizens of the city of Detroit.
Yes.
And put us first.
And they
and
got
foremost.
guys from other cities coming out here to fight fire. And they don't have the same standard operating procedures we do out here. So folks gonna get hurt.
Well, I just want to say thank you for what you're doing, and give your mom that hug for me.
I most certainly will.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care now. Love you, DD.
The Young Movement.
That's right.
All right.
Love
Winner.
you.
Bye.
Bye, gorgeous. Love you, DD. And also, you can go to theyoungmovement.com. That's theyoungmovement.com. That's our new website, theyoungmovement.com. Got a caller?
It's good evening, Senator Tacoma. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to say this. Do you think that we will be able to do anything about the insurance coming from the state level? I think it's going to have to come from the federal level. Because I'm saying this because I retired 20 years ago, and I've been working. I'm not an agent, but I work with some insurance company. I still work with insurance company. Worked with farmers for about 16 years, and worked for doing some work now with AAA. Now, when I started out, I was working for farmers. This guy was right across from Providence Hospital. He was an older guy, been in business, he said, for about 60 years. He told me this then. He said, they will never be able to do anything unless they come through the federal level. He retired. And a lot of things that guy, he taught me well. A lot of things that he told me, I really looked at that. So we have an insurance commission here in Lansing, but they know that's what he said. And I just want to bring that to your attention. And I'm going to come up to your campaign office when they have kids in your neighborhoods that have businesses on Livernois. 2 daughters have a business on Livernois. And I'm going to come up there and we're going to talk, okay?
No problem. Love that.
Take care. I love you.
Love you too. Appreciate you. Bye now. We got another caller? Caller, you on the air. What's the Young Effect?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Hey.
Oh, okay. What I'd like to say is this. This is just my opinion. The only way that the insurance is car insurance as well as homeowners insurance is going to be resolved is if the people join together, put their money in escrow, and stop paying these insurance companies. The only way that that's going to work. But the people have to do it. I don't think any legislator or any federal government or anything, the people have to take their money, put it in a trust fund or something, and stop these insurance companies. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate that. You know, I mean, that's one way to look at it. My only concern is, you know, what you going to do until that time with no insurance. And you got to drive somewhere, and you know people in Detroit, you know, that y'all going to be the first ones they're going to pick up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's my only major concern. So, yeah, man. So, you know, but I understand what you're saying. That's why if the state don't do what it's supposed to do, we're going to file a national lawsuit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to partner up with the United States Conference of Mayors. I'm going to reach out to a couple cities that are also experiencing redlining, because redlining is a national problem. And from that, we're going to file ourselves a class action lawsuit. You got another caller? Okay. So with that being said, like I'm saying again, it's time out for this mess, man. You got too many people that's out here that are hurting. Brother trying to go from job to job to job to job to job and can't get work. You got $1 billion that they are investing, over billions of dollars that they invested in this city. And we ain't got no recreational centers in the neighborhoods. What about the neighborhoods? They acting like the neighborhoods don't count. But our votes count. That's why August the 8th, you need to vote for Coleman Alexander Young II. We got another caller. Caller, you on the air. Hello? Hello, caller.
Hi, this is Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. What's going on, Kathy?
Nothing. I know one thing. I am so sick of Duggan and his little minions going around putting out yard signs on people's lawn, including mine, who didn't want the yard sign. What is that all about?
You know, when you can't get people to do something by asking them, you force it on them. I mean, you know, that's what it is. But that's just how this guy operates. You know, he operates through fear and intimidation. You know, and bid rigging and colluding, and you know, robbing and stealing. That's just what he does. That's what he does. It's crooked, and he's a crook, and it's time for him to go. And that's why we run it. And, you know, wherever you at, Kathy, look, you can call me. You know you got our number on here. You can call after the show, and you can let us know where you at. We're going to send a sign to your house.
I appreciate it. I already got a yard sign.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
I'm just saying, it's just amazing how they come up and they just put yard signs on people's lawns. It did it my neighbors. It did it people across the street. It's just weird. Why is this? I mean, as much as he's been in office for 3.5 years, why does he have to put yards on people's yards who don't want them? That's what's killing me. This man has supposed to have multi-million dollars in his campaign fund, but he can't get people to knock on doors the right way. He's just going to have people put signs in people's lawns without even asking them.
And he paying people like $10 an hour in order to put $20 an hour. Well, no, the guy I talked to said he's paying, got paid $10.
I even heard he had his civil servants from his staff working for him, which is against the law, which he's done before as a prosecutor. He did that before as a prosecutor. He had somebody working on his campaign while they were on the clock working as a civil servant. I heard that, and I read that. I Googled it from when he was a prosecutor.
That's why I need to vote for Coleman Young for mayor.
You got my vote.
Get this guy up out of here. I totally agree with you, Kathy.
He's a liar. The FBI is not here just because they want to be here.
Nope.
There's got to be a reason. They're looking for that big fish. Duggan, you the big fish.
Yep, that shoe about to drop. Love you. We appreciate you, Kathy. Thank you for your call. We on the caller. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Hey,
Hello.
Mr. Young, I just had to call back and tell you this. Dee Dee was on the phone just now, but she didn't tell you about that letter yet that I want you and your mama to read. It's not a letter. It's something that they sent to the city council, to Mike Duggan, and it's about all the things that happened in the city of Detroit. Joe Louis Arena, all these different places that they took from the black people is on this people's piece of paper. Somebody stuck it in my pocket, and I was giving somebody a coat, and I took this letter, and I looked at it, and I said, now, I don't know nothing about this, but I'm going to get it to Ann them and let them read this letter, because it came to the city council, to Mike Duggan, and told him just sit down and just vote no. And this is all about the Joe Louis Arena, all these different places downtown. That's why I told her to give it to you, and if it's any good, I just want you to read it and see what's going on about it, because it happened before they even took Joe Louis Arena. All this stuff happened before they took these places in the city of Detroit. So I don't know who did it, but they put it in my pocket, and I want y'all to read it and see what comes of it. I don't know, because y'all know about these things. But I just want everybody to know I was raised on Bewick. I moved over here when I was 8 years old, and I'm 81 years old. I know from Matt, Jefferson, and every place else over here. I know who has what and who don't have anything. So anybody that talks about me, and I help everybody. I took 32 men out of jail and brought them to clean up the alleys over on the east side. Only thing I had to do was feed them, and they clean these alleys up. So anybody that don't like what I do, I'm sure I don't care.
Yeah,
because
you're doing
I've been
the right
fighting
thing.
for a long
and
time,
we're not going to have
and
people
I'm
talk
keep
about one
on
another on this
fighting for the
program.
city of Detroit.
I love you, though,
And
Eastside.
I'm going to keep on fighting for the
Yes,
people. So
that's
thank
what
you
you
for
do.
taking my call.
Okay.
And God bless you and your
God
mom.
bless you. I got to get going. Anytime,
Okay,
tell me to wrap
bye-bye.
up. Love y'all. Appreciate you. All right, remember, nobody cares how much you know. Say know how much you care. I'm your state senator, Coleman Alexander Yum II. We will see you, soon to be your next mayor of the city of Detroit. So we will see you next Sunday right here on The Young Effect. Love you. God bless you. Don't forget to vote August 8th.